Definition of politeness. Margaret Fisher, The Way We Are, HarperCollins, 1994. Value, both to oneself and to others. Social interactions require all participants to cooperate in order to maintain everyone's face that is. To maintain everyone's simultaneous wants of being liked and being autonomous and being seen as such. Thus, politeness strategies developed to negotiate this interaction and achieve the most favorable outcomes. Yule, 1996-56, assures that typical patterns, starting with models such as can you, could you, or will you, would you, or will you, would you, are normally used to make a polite request.
Okay, I will continue the material polite and concept phase. Phase refer to something that can be lost, maintained, or appreciated, and must always be present in interaction. In general, people collaborate on phase direct in interaction. Such collaboration is due to the mutual phase for the pressure that there is a certain type of politeness at work in interaction. To describe it, it's necessary to use the concept of phase, which is a technical term, denotes a person's public self-image and reflects to the emotional and social sense of self that everyone has and expects to be recognized by others. Politeness is felt in situations of social disdain or caution. Respect are used to show awareness of another person's face when that other person looks socially disdained. Oke, jadi konsep wajah dalam pembicara ini mempunyai dua ciri-ciri, yaitu wajah dengan tipe keinginan positif dan tipe keinginan negatif. Kalau wajah dari keinginan positif itu, jadi dia auranya sangat cerah dan apa yang dia omongkan itu mengeluarkan nilai-nilai positif terkait seperti dia nilai solidaritas, kejujuran, dan pengakuan ataupun kebenaran. Sementara itu dari wajah negatif atau negative face itu adanya keinginan seorang untuk tetap mandiri, kukuh, atau angkuh, bebas dari gangguan pihak luar, dan dia ingin selalu dihormati dari pihak lawan bicara tersebut. Dari makanya itu konsep wajah ini patut kita dijaga dari melalui pola bahasanya yang santun yang tidak merusak nilai-nilai wajah itu. Terima kasih.
Okay, now types of politeness. There are three types of politeness: distance politeness, difference politeness, and camaraderie politeness. Distant politeness refers to one of the civilized human strategies which are similar to those of other animals. The human usually use symbol to create symbolic fences. The distance politeness show equality between the participants. It is typical in the middle and upper classes in most of Europe for a very long time. Differential politeness may be adopted by a culture that avoids the danger of conflict. Conflict can be avoided if a participant considers that whatever is said and whatever it is to mean in a conversation is up to the other person. Difference politeness assumes the basing one of the participant is a conversation or both. This type of politeness is characteristic of many Asian societies. It is the preferred model of interaction for women, especially when talking to men. Camaraderie is the third type that show that interaction and connection are socially positive ideas, and the openness is the most significant sign of courtesy. According to a camaraderie system, to be open nice, it is to be desirable and adorable.
Okay, my name is Ajeng Elya Nabilasari, and I will continue the material about the strategies of politeness. Words emphasizes that politeness strategies aim at supporting the hearer's positive pace and add efforting transcending of the hero's freedom of action and freedom from imposition. The participant should choose appropriate strategies to minimize any face threats occurring in any social activities. Brown and Levinson proposed 5 super strategies that are systematically related to the degree of the face threat. The first one is bold on record. The FTA is performed in the most direct, clear, unambiguous, and concise way possible. In other words, in accordance with Christ's maxim, no attempt is made to acknowledge the hero's face once. This strategy is typically used in emergency situations like shouting, "Get out!" when a house is on fire. And then, when the face threat is very small, "Come in," said in response to a knock at the door. And when the speaker has a great power over the hero, "Stop complaining," said by a parent to a child. The second one is positive politeness. Positive politeness strategies are intended to avoid giving offense by highlighting friendliness. The strategies include juxtaposing criticism with compliments, establishing common ground, and using jokes, nicknames, honorifics, tag questions, special decors, markets, please, and in-group jargon and slang. The example of positive politeness, the first one, offer and promise. "Come over for dinner tomorrow. Be optimistic. You don't mind if I borrow your computer? Give or ask for reasons. The sun is shining. Shall we go to the garden?" Jokes. So you are free to do me a favor tomorrow.
Negative politeness are intended to avoid giving offense by showing deference. These strategies include questioning, hedging, and presenting disagreements as opinions. Negative politeness output strategies. Be conventionally indirect. "Can you please pass the salt?" Question H. "Actually, I wondered if you could help." Be pessimistic. "I don't suppose there would be any change of a cup of tea." Minimize the imposition. "Could I borrow your pen for a second?" Give deference. "I've been a real fool. Could you help me out?" Apologize. "I don't want to trouble you, but..." Impersonalize as an aid. "It would be much appreciated if this were done." Off record. The FTA is performed in such a way that there is more than one unambiguously attributable intention so that the actor cannot be held to have committed himself to one particular intent. Such implicators may be denied. For example, "I'm thirsty," said with the goal of getting a cup of tea. In a suitable context, the hearer may be able to infer that the speaker is asking for a cup of tea. But, if challenged, the speaker could always deny this. Withhold the FTA. The speaker activity refrains from performing the FTA. As Craig et al. 1986 point out, an option every communicator has is not to talk.
Face treating act. Politeness is a set strategy for managing threat to face. For doing face treating act are those routine everyday communicative action. Apologizing, advising, criticizing, inviting, complimenting. That by their very nature pose a threatening to the speaker or hearer, positive or negative face one. Consider requests. When we make a request, we tend to use some form politeness, often the simple and most conventional form, the word please. Why do we do this? A request asks another person to do something they would not ordinarily have done. In doing so, it treating negative face. The desire to be left alone. The speaker know this, and being person with tact and social skill acknowledge the threat to face by saying please. Please is a shortened form of if you please, so pass the salt please. Is really pass the salt if you please. Face treating act are unavoidable. As we got about our daily business, we must do dozens if not hundreds of the everyday. Politeness does not protect us from having to disrespect the face one, even though at the moment we are forced to threaten them in saying please. What we are saying is, I know you are somebody. A person with face one, a human being with dignity and self-esteem, deserving of difference. I recognize that you would rather be left alone to go about your life uninterrupted, but I need the salt, and I cannot reach it, so I am forced to threaten your negative face one. I feel bad about that and dramatize that I still respect your face one, even though I have to feel it them in the instance I say if you please. That mournful. No one want to say all that every time they need the self. But maintaining the safety of the social work requirement requires that we acknowledge and respect each other face one. That's where politeness come in. Politeness offer is routine conversational way to pay our respect to people face one, even we must threaten or violence them.
So, the conclusion of this material is politeness is a set of strategies for doing face-threatening acts while minimizing the chance that we or others will lose face. Face is the positive social value we claim for ourselves by acting in a particular way. It has two aspects. Negative face, the desire to be left alone, and positive face, the desire to be liked and approved of. Remember this as leave me alone and like me. A face-threatening act is any action that threatens either the speaker's or the hearer's positive or negative face. Most routine communicative actions have the potential to threaten either the speaker's or the hearer's face or both. FCAs are commonplace.